Brooks Running has a new shoe for you runners out there. Did you hear that? Better turn up your volume. In fact, turn it up to the max. Introducing the all-new Ghost Max. It's got all kinds of things to make your knees and ankles feel protected, like Max Cushion, Max Soft Landings with DNA Loft V2 foam, and Max Smooth Rides with their Glide Roll Rocker. Feel better on your run with Ghost Max. Learn more at brooksrunning.com.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on this guy that decided that he was just going to transition himself to being a Korean person. Now, he was born white, and he just out of nowhere decided, yeah, I'm gonna be Korean. Like, if it's that easy, bruh, like, because I'm trying to think, what races, like, if I sit down and think about it, like, if I, like, get enough money to do it, bro, I could be, like, a race for, like, a different race for, like, the next, like, 10 years or something. Think maybe, like, next year, because I feel like I'm already, like, halfway through this year, so I won't be able to do it now. Maybe next year I can start off being Samoan. Year after that, I can be Hispanic. Year after that, can possibly be Canadian. Might go back to being black one year, but you know, just probably like a different version of like you know, maybe like Nigerian or something, you know, like just. But do you see how silly that sounds? That's this guy, but he's being dead serious about it, and I just seen this video. So shout out to this content creator that I follow. His name is Diamonds Live News, but he posts like a lot of like, you know, of course, like it's in his name, he posts a lot of like news related, like things that's gonna be going viral. And he posted a video of this guy, and the guy's in the hospital bed, and he's like, oh yeah, just got my eyes done, and that's why I decide, you know what, enough with social media, let me plug my microphone up, let me do a podcast episode tonight, let me talk on this guy a little bit. So you think just because you get your eyes done, or you read some books, or you got a lot of Korean friends, this is like equivalent to a white person thinking that they can say the N-word because they know a bunch of black people. Like, ain't never grew up in no black neighborhood, don't have no black heritage behind them, nothing. But they think because they know Daquan, Tyrell, and Johnson, I don't know, Johnson's like the older gentleman name, but overall, jokes aside, people think along those lines, and that's how this guy is thinking. And I know people probably would overall get offended how critical I'm being and stuff. All like, oh, well, he's allowed to do whatever he wants to do. Correct. He is allowed to do whatever he wants to do. But has anybody ever sat down to think, how does a Korean person feel about that? Where their heritage, their history, all of that stuff, it can just be bought like that. Like, no. Because my thing is, I know people would try to compare this to, like, because I feel like that there would be people out there that'll say some stuff like, oh, well, this ain't no different than a woman wanting to transition to a man, or a man, you know, wanting to do it the other way around. So here's the thing. Here's the difference behind that. There ain't no heritage behind a man. There ain't no heritage behind a woman. At the end of the day, man is a man, woman is a woman. If you decide to chop your junk off to, you know, put a hole there, or you decide to fill your hole up to where you got junk there, whatever you want to do, okay, that's on you. At the end of the day, you're not claiming anything. The only thing you're claiming is a gender. There ain't no heritage behind no gender. But when somebody, imagine, my thing is this, how is this situation any different than you know, a white person putting some like black paint on his face, saying that he's black? Like, that's how I'm seeing this situation. That this guy is honestly just, he's like making fun of Korean people. I know that that's probably not his intentions, but you got to see it as this. I don't like, I can't really, well, at the end of the day, I could care less about it. You know, I'm like, I don't, you know, really, like, or I guess like the proper wording would be, I don't care if a white person were to, you know, like blackface, because I'm like, at the end of the day, yeah, that's just them being racist. It's like, if you want to, like, you know, my thing is, and I've heard situations like that, And I know with one case, with one case, the woman was like, she was going around telling everybody that she was black just because she went to the tanning salon every Tuesdays and Thursdays throughout the week. She thought she was black, and she was going around telling everybody how she was black. And even after she got exposed, right, there's a couple of situations that happened like that. And even after she got exposed, because I think it was her parents, I think it was her, where it was her parents came out and said, like, yeah, she's white. Like, look at us. Do we look black? No, that girl's white. So it was like she's still like out on TV. I haven't heard of that woman in I don't know how long. Like that happened some years ago, but people do that. Then there's even this one content creator. Some of you guys may know who she is. But even that girl though, I honestly feel like that there might be a little bit of racism like living within her. But there's this content creator named Whoa Vicky. And I remember she was going around like telling everybody like how she was black and stuff, and how it's on her birth certificate and all of that. And there's this other content creator named Keemstar. He wanted to put it to the test. He was just like, okay, well, you know what? Do one of those like ancestry testings or whatever. He asked her to do some sort of test to where it was overall going to like prove to us that she is black. So she never did it, and at the end of the day, yeah, she stopped talking about that. Once when she realized, like, oh, those exist? There's a test to determine whether you're black or not? Like, yes. I'm like, in some situations and cases and scenarios, it's also called a birth certificate. So I'm saying, like, if that's possible to acquire, like, I think it was either a blood sample. I can't remember how exactly you could get that test done, but it's like people do stuff like that. And I guess like with this guy, he wants to look like this singer from that group BTS or something like that, because I know BTS is a popular I'm gonna say Asian, because I don't know for a fact if they're Korean and stuff, so I don't want to say that they are and they're really not. So it's just a popular Asian band. And he wanted to look like somebody from that band, and I'm like, bruh, that's kind of like the situation. The guy, he was getting all these surgeries done to look like Justin Bieber, and that situation ended up ending like in a worse way, like worst case scenario and stuff. He ended up taking his own life, because it was like, I don't know if he just wasn't satisfied or he was just disappointed with what he did. But that's why I'm like, I always try to tell people, it's like, accept you, bruh. Like, accept if you're short, accept if you're tall, accept if you're big, accept that you're skinny, like, accept all of that. Accept your flaws, accept your blessings, whatever it is, okay? Accept it. Now, there was a time that I remember where a friend reached out to me like early in the morning. They never do that where they hadn't done it in years, but reached out to me one morning, and I was like, okay, it wasn't my intentions to offend anybody. I was just letting people know, like, hey, accept yourself. That's it. That's all that my intentions were. That's why it's like, people, I just think it's like them communication skills don't really work too well. But anyways, reached out to me one morning. And that was because I think I went on something, and I was more so talking on like, plastic surgery, where it's like, oh, you're getting your lips did to freaking make them look like a bulletproof vest, or, getting your boobs or butt done. And it's all like, because I've heard situations where it's like that stuff can go wrong. I think that's probably why I had did that, because I remember there is this, I've heard so many stories like that though, where like women have gotten like butt implants, but that stuff end up like messing with them. And I think there was the one case and scenario where the girl, like, it messed her butt up. Like, they showed like a doctor photo of it and stuff, and her butt was messed up. And I'm like, bruh, that's why y'all need to leave that stuff alone. Like, if you ain't got a butt, like, my thing is this: work out, go to the gym, eat, look up like how to gain one, but not like, oh, let me contact this doctor and stuff and see what, like at the end of the. But this friend, they were telling me, it's just like, at times people would be doing it to like help them, like maybe if they got like, because they might get like nose surgeries to. And my thing was like, look, if you get a nose surgery or whatever, and it's like, I wasn't even talking on stuff like that. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't even know where any of that stuff had came from. But regardless, they were trying to tell me that it's, overall, like, people would do that type of stuff, get surgeries done, because it's like health benefits. You know, and I know that there was that situation with Angelina Jolie where she had got like this surgery done, because I know it's to prevent breast cancer, but I guess it was like, you know, it's a way of like, in like simple terms, she overall got like breast implants. I don't know what the proper terminology it is, like, you know, the surgery name and all of that stuff. But yeah, I know she did that. So I'm like, okay, health reasons, cool. Freaking what other, you know, like, my thing is like, that's as far as it'll go with me. But if you're doing it to look like somebody, and that's why I overall said to this friend, because I'm like, all right, well, first off, I was like, I wasn't expecting to wake up to no strongly worded message about some post that I made like that day or that night or whatever. I'm like, okay, so my thing is like, I'm a little frustrated and irritated, because I'm like, okay, it wasn't my intentions to offend anybody. It's overall just, you know, about body positivity and stuff, like accepting who you are, because like overall, like, this world is like, it's a cruel world. It's like, you got where people out there like the whole situation with like models, when they try and say like they're like plus size, that type of stuff. I'm just all like, I'm not with that. They're a model. There ain't no such thing as no plus size model. But it's stuff like that where it's all like, and then even I remember that there's this one model where it was like they were trying to say that or they were getting on her about like eating or something like that. And she did like a whole video. It was funny. She did a whole video of like just her just eating food and stuff. And I'm all like, it's good. It's good that they that she did that and things, because I'm like, yeah, it's people, they want to like get on you, because it's like, my thing is that you got a lot of people out there where they want to shame your body and shame. So at the end of the day, when I had made that post like about body positivity and you don't need surgeries to prove anything to anybody and stuff, it was for that reason. It wasn't to, you know, tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, if you got health issues, ignore all of that, accept your body. I'm like, come on now. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, a person is doing it for health reasons. Of course, it's like a person is going to accept, anybody would accept that. But yeah, but if it's like, oh, you want to look like Justin Bieber, or there's the one girl where she wants to look like Barbie, or the other, or this guy that wants to look like, you know, he wants to look like a Korean person. It's like, okay, at the end of the day, you know, you're going to still be white. Like, if we're going to really like to just, you know, eliminate everything that I've just been saying for almost 12 minutes, at the end of the day, you're still going to be white, bruh. Like, it's still going to be said on your birth certificate. It's still going to be said on your license. Now, it probably would come to a point in time where people would start doing that. But you're going to have people in this world that's going to bring up, okay, well, you know, this ain't no different than blackfacing. Like, my thing is like, and that's why I would like to ask that guy. It's like, what's the difference between, because I'm like, okay, then it's like a white person could, that could have been their argument, for, like, back years ago when that was, like, a very popular, you know, racist thing to do and stuff. That could have been their argument. Oh, I identify as black. So overall, that's why I'm up on stage black-facing, entertaining people. That's, at the end of the day, they're just as racist as the person up on stage, because they laughing at this stuff. They're enjoying that stuff. So it's like a person, a black or a white person can go ahead and say some things like that. But it's like, at the end of the day, you're not black. You're not Korean. You're not Justin Bieber. You're not Barbie. You're not who else. You are you. Whatever this man's name is, it's like, that is you, bruh. Like, that's why I'm like, my thing is this. You know, if I ever would have come into a lot of money and surgery was something, because I'm like, look, hair loss, like, you know, freaking, like, I'm dealing with that. I'm skinny, you know, what else? Short. My thing is like, I've heard surgeries where you can get your hair back. I've heard surgeries where you can gain muscle. You know, I've heard surgeries where you can get taller. Things that I've thought on. I'm like, dang, like, why am I looking up at everybody? Why is everybody in this room 6 feet tall right now? What's up with that? Is this like a sign, or is this like to rub it in my face or something? I crack jokes about it. I laugh about it. That's I had to say how far I've then just accepted the fact, like, this is me, this is who I am. I gotta live with that. You know, if there's a way to fix it, I'm gonna do it naturally. But I ain't gonna, you know, be like, oh, I want to get surgeries because I identify as Shaquille O'Neal. I want to be tall, big, and bald like him. Like, like, is that, like, really, is it, at the end of the day, am I going to be him? No. I'm still going to be TMossBoss. I'm still going to be Tyler Jamal Moss. At the end of the day, like, who I am is always like deep. My thing is this guy can get 100 surgeries and he can look just like a Korean person. He can look identical to whoever this guy is in that BTS group, right? He can look identical to that man. At the end of the day, that man from BTS, he is actually Asian. You, my friend, you are actually white. Like, and my thing is like, I know people will overall, have arguments with what I'm saying right now. All right, so scenario. So let's say you invite a friend over to your house, right? They get madly, fascinated with how your like another family member look, or they want to look exactly, because I've seen movies like this, and I'm like, and them movies end up just taking a turn for the worse, okay? But anyways, they get fascinated with either somebody in your family, or let's say they get fascinated with you. So I know people will probably, if there's like friends or whoever, they want to sit down and argue with me. I'm like, you know what? Without warning, I look just like you one day. I'm dressing just like you. I'm talking just like you. Walking around acting just like you. Showing up to your job saying, "Oh, I'm Barack Obama." They were like, "No, you're not. You're not Barack Obama." I'm like, "Nope, yes I am. I'm wearing the suits. My skin is somewhat lighter." I'm like, "I'm Barack Obama. I identify as Barack Obama." I'm gonna most likely get arrested. But to make this like like, all right, jokes aside and all of that, like talking to whoever is going to get offended, because that's how I see it now. It's like whatever a person says, especially on a subject like this, I already know that there's gonna be people out there getting offended, and there's probably people out there that support this man on what he's doing and things, but you're gonna see it. It's like a lot of people, it's just like they don't, especially Koreans, they're gonna see this and they're gonna be like, "Hey yo, I don't support that." And it's just like with black people, and it's like when you got white people out there, it's like that's acting black or thinking that they're black and things. And I remember there was this TV show, because I know it used to come on MTV a lot. Don't even ask me why I was watching this show, but it was just, look, MTV be showing a lot of different shows. I don't be changing the channel that much. Now I do, because they keep playing this annoying commercial and crap. But anyways, there's this TV show called Girlfriends. Now I remember one of the episodes that I was watching in the privacy of my own home. But no, there was this episode that they did where the girl, she was, it was like mad annoying seeing her act like that. And I've been, around people that act like this. And it's mad annoying, because I'm like, you are not black, so stop acting like it. But the girl, all throughout the episodes, acting black. And then it got towards the end of the episode where she thought, She's with her quote unquote family. She's with her she's with her quote unquote brothers and sisters. So she's with them, right? She gets so comfortable. She got mad comfortable and dropped the N-word in front of everybody. They all looking at her like, okay, so are we hallucinating, or does she want to get jumped? Like, you can't do that. you just can't do that in things. So she's trying to come up. So it was like one of the main characters of the show. She like brought her outside and was telling her like, you can't say that. Like, that's, this is not your word to say and things. Like, there's so much history behind that word. It's not in your place to say. And she's like arguing with her on why she can say it and why she can act the way that she acts and stuff. And it's things like that where I'm all like, I've legit dropped friends for carrying on like that. I'm like, you ain't black, my guy or my girl, like whoever you is and stuff, you ain't black. I'm like, you ain't living this history, you ain't living that life. So it's like at the end of the day, whoever you are, white, Asian, Hispanic, accept that, okay? Accept it. Like, you ain't got to get a bunch of 100 surgeries done to make yourself look like... And that's where it's like, even when I see it like where black people, it's like you hear situations where it's like they bleach their skins to look white and things. And I'm like, look, okay, my thing is this. If you want to act like educated, you want to act proper, if you want to act... there ain't no titles with that. My thing is like, you can be black or white and act educated or proper or whatever, but to be like, oh, I want to be black, I identify as a black person now, and it's like going back to that gender stuff. You hear situations where it's like a girl will be like, oh, I identify, if I've just always felt like I had like a manly side to me and stuff, and that's just the environment that they've grown up in. They might have grown up around the guys. that doesn't mean. My thing is this: a guy won't look at her and be like, oh, like, and you know what? My thing is like, if they do, then they're just not accepting it. That you know that she's just overall like. But my thing is though is like she still goes to the women's restroom. She still goes to now. Imagine if this guy he went to like North Korea or South Korea, and he's all like going around trying to like hang out with everybody there, all like, oh yeah, I'm one, because that's how he's just gonna be acting like super cringy and just mad, annoying about it and stuff. I feel like that when we talk on that gender, it's just very different. So it's like you can't look at like somebody saying that, oh, I identify as a man or a woman or any like at the end of the day it's just it's like that's what they identify. Like I said earlier in this episode, there ain't no like history behind. I mean, there is history, but it's like not like Black history or not like Korean history or any other forms of like history that has to do with race. There is history within the man, there is history within the woman, but at the end of the day, it's like it is mad different. Then, and yeah, if there's people out there, this because and another thing, I know people ask me, do I accept that? Do I accept when a man becomes a woman or a woman becomes a man? I'm like, for the longest, I've always had a don't care attitude. So at the end of the day, if a man approaches me and he says, I identify as a woman, all right, identify as a woman, okay? If you say that if you're a woman and you like, I identify as a man, all right, welcome to the club, bro. Like, that's why I'm like, I have a don't care jokingly attitude. So that's why I'm like, with situations like that, I'm not going to trip. But if a person were to approach me and they would be like, I identify as a Black man, so you got to welcome me to your family. I'm allowed to say the N-word. I'm allowed to, do all these things that like Black people be doing. And I know everything about the history and stuff because I read books. And like, my thing is this. But does your skin explain that history and stuff? Like, do you think at the end of the day a cop would look at you, right, and be like, oh, okay, well, they identify as a Black person, so I'm like, I gotta treat... No. They're gonna look at you as like, oh, that person's white. I'ma back up. Me, on the other hand, I mean, the history speaks for itself. You don't speak for our history. So that's why I'm like, to Korean people, hey, there's a little quote for you, okay? You can speak on it, but you don't speak for it. So, it's like, I just think with this guy, I'm like, hey, bro, it's like, if you're just trying to trend on the internet and stuff, it's like, this is all wrong. It's all wrong, bro. It's like, people always do things like that. It's like, they try to trend on the internet, and it's like, bro, it's not worth it. So, at the end of the day, it's like, if that's what he wants to do with his money, it's like, hey, bro, do what you want to do with your money. It's your money. But at the end of the day, he was looking at me saying, oh, I got to spend. I'm like, I will not spend money to just make you look like, and you don't even look like Korean at that. You just look like, I don't know. You look like a video game character, bro. It's like, it just don't look right. But anyways, my people get offended by this. Oh well, I'm like, I can care less. It's like people. It's just because I'm like, okay, well, it's like you let somebody do that to you. Whether it's all like, if it's because I know people would be like, they would probably look at me. All right, you know what? I should do that. I should just go and get me some lotion that can smear all across my face. Or get some powder and dump my face in some powder or something, and just be like, I identify as a white person. I'm all like, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, because I think that's going to look real normal, me going to a Ku Klux Klan meeting. Yeah, that's going to, and then chanting with them and stuff, and being like, yeah, we, don't like Black people. That's going to look very, very normal. So that's why I'm like, okay, it's like, you guys see this, like, that's how I'm looking at it if I was in his shoes right now. If I was like, you know what, today, I'm going to be, and I'm like, what, my thing is this, what led him to just out of nowhere just say he's gonna lie? What was that day? What was going on that Tuesday afternoon where you was like, I'm gonna be Korean. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this white boy act. I'm gonna just be Korean one day. And he just posted all across social media, and it's just like, I identify as Korean. I'm like, I'm pretty sure if he did have any Korean friends, they just stopped being friends with him. And if they are still friends with him, they probably only doing it because it's all like, oh, I know we're going to get an interview some point in time, and I want to be that Korean friend that speaks for him and things. It's like, and speak for all Korean people, because that's the right thing to do. I'm like, man, People weird nowadays, bro. But anyways, yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for hearing me out on this, somewhat of a rant. I guess it can be a rant in a way, but I don't really consider it a rant. Like, I was just overall I felt like just discussing, giving my opinion about this and things. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 33 YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok. I was about to say TwitTwalk. I don't know what I'm saying. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow me on Facebook at TMossBoss fan page. I don't know if my SeatGeek promo code is working. Y'all can use it. It's just simply TMossBoss, and it should knock $20 off your next purchase. But if it doesn't work, then yeah, it ain't working right now. But it showed that somebody had used it, so I don't really know what's going on right now with it. But anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.